This is a fictional mindbender. Let me start this video out with an unpopular opinion. Ahsoka Tano is a broken person. Yes, I said it. Ahsoka Tano, hero of the Clone Wars and of the early rebellion, was a broken character. That said, let me also say, this is not a hate video. I love the character, I love the Ahsoka series so far, I definitely have no complaints about it, but this video was inspired by the 2 episodes along with the episodes in the Clone Wars and in Rebels that dealt with Ahsoka's rejection from the Jedi and her relationship to Anakin/Vader. Now, the reason why I say this is because after watching the first 2 episodes, I think the series is going to be exploring a tendency that the character has had since the closing months of the Clone Wars, that is, running away. In the show, Sabine Wren and Ahsoka both individually comment that the former Jedi had taken on the Mando as an apprentice of sorts and then left her high and dry with apparently no word or explanation. And in fact, thus far, Ahsoka is proving very evasive on explanations to those who are not in the know. But what's the big deal? So what, she's a runaway? How the hell does this make her a broken character? We all know what happened during the Clone Wars when she was framed for murder and then subsequently drummed out of the Jedi Order. The betrayal of those she called family for so long proved so traumatic for her, I believe, that she left the Order with only her trust in Anakin and somewhat in Obi-Wan remaining. After some struggle, she creates an independent life for herself, but it's not as the same person. Post-trial Ahsoka is evasive, dodgy, and very slow to trust anyone. She has a desire to help people, but now is very hesitant to do so at the risk of revealing her Force powers. Of course, all this is understandable, yet it's still true. Ahsoka hasn't entirely become cynical, and still has a moral compass, but it's damaged, very damaged, and she hides it in one of 2 ways. What I just mentioned above being evasive and dodgy, which translate into when she's older as being aloof and almost seemingly kind of mystical-like, and as an outward shield of distant confidence, even towards Anakin and Obi-Wan when she reunites with them briefly. Both hide the wound that was created and has yet to heal, but the thing is that it never has time to. Ahsoka has a chance to start that healing process prior to the Siege of Mandalore, but passes it up except with one last brief exchange with her master/brother, Anakin, before they're both off to their separate campaigns, both likely believing that they have time to catch up and reconnect somehow. No red flags there. But Order 66 goes down. Now, we all breathe a collective sigh of relief when Ahsoka appeared somehow to survive Order 66, if barely. But I will contend that, in fact, she didn't survive Order 66. Not only that, the Order compounds upon her already existing wound by killing her only 2 remaining connections to the Order, and by extension, who she was. And, furthermore, she is attempted to be killed by the clones who just days ago had expressed such loyalty and devotion for her as to paint their own helmets with Togruta markings. The Ahsoka standing before the graves of the fallen soldiers in front of the crashed cruiser is not the Ahsoka who says she would catch up with Anakin's just days ago. For all intents and purposes, that Ahsoka is gone, or at least submerged beneath this new persona, and in many ways, ironically mirroring her own master's downfall into becoming Darth Vader. Since then, Ahsoka has been in hiding and on the run from the Empire, never staying in one place. Between keeping the Inquisitors off her ass and keeping civilians from discovering that she's Force sensitive for their own safety and her own, the ex-Jedi doesn't have the luxury of making connections like she did once years ago. And this reinforces and therefore creates the persona of somewhat being distant, warm, friendly, yet skittish, and honestly kind of fragile in the inside. It's not that she doesn't care, but that when things become exceptionally difficult with people that she's starting to form bonds with, that original sin, so to speak, reappears and she acts as she did back then. she leaves or she runs. Now, to be fair to Ahsoka and to those who are dealing with her at this point, you wouldn't know it because she is still strong in the Force. She's still a capable warrior, and she is trained by Anakin Skywalker. So it's not like, she's slacking in any way, shape, or form. However, her encounter with Vader decades later doesn't help much, and not only reinforces this, but now adds the new dimension of shame to her mounting traumas. That the monster she had been hearing about for so long and was responsible for the Inquisitors hunting her and her other Jedi brethren down was in fact her own brother, and I think this fills her with a sense of shame. Shame that she let her bravado/shield get in the way of their bond, and that not long after that choice, he becomes a Sith Lord. Now, Ahsoka maintains still this shield and defense mechanism even throughout her days in the early rebellion. That's why she seems so cold and almost reluctant to join with the Phoenix Squadron, because she's trying to keep a distance, she doesn't want to repeat the mistakes she made during the Clone Wars, and so on. And while after the war she does appear to have met at least one of Anakin's children, it has not healed that wound from over 20 years ago, nor her conditioned reaction to it. However, this new situation with Thrawn appears to be forcing her to finally confront that issue, and perhaps she'll have her own redemption arc, not in terms of something she did wrong, but regaining that which she lost, the ability to connect with people, and more so to heal from the betrayal that she experienced so long ago. That wound that has continued to plague and haunt her in little and minuscule ways, but enough that it affects her relationships. That wound never healed. She still never learned to completely trust anyone, even if she admired them or had loyalty to them. Therefore, it should be interesting to see if the Ahsoka series delves into this further, and if she will experience a type of healing so that, while not entirely being the original Ahsoka that we all came to know and love, she will be a better Ahsoka, someone who has made it through the fire and come out prospering. It'll be interesting to see where this all goes. Yet, having said that, what do you guys think? Do you see Ahsoka Tano as a broken character, or do you think that she's perfectly fine and she's just doing the whole Jedi aloofness thing? Let me know in the comments below, but this is the Fictional Mindbender, and you guys have a good day.